And call the special meeting of the Hotel Motel Board to order at 5:30 on Thursday, January 13th. And our first order of business is to approve the minutes of September 9th. Has everybody had an opportunity to review those minutes?
Yes.
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 Do I have a motion to approve those minutes?
I make a motion to approve the minutes.
I second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Thirdly, discuss possibly recommend a council action to approve the final expense report for the Pryor Area Chamber of Commerce Pryor Patchers Quilt Guild Quilt Show, September 17th through the 18th, 2021, in the amount of $3,000. So is there somebody here from the quilt? I can tell, this half of the room.
Yes, I'm Sue Putt. I'm a member of the Pryor Patchers Quilt Guild and the show as well. And I have a listing of our quilt show expenses. I don't know, Darla, did you give them those?
They all have.
They all have that
yes.
too, so I have the same thing that you guys do, I guess. So, I guess maybe what I need to say is, do we have any questions, or?
Well, how many people attended the event?
Well, I think we figured it was a little over 400.
Okay, and compared to previous years?
I think it was a little bit less this year than it has been.
Than it has been in the past? Okay.
Did you guys ask for addresses or names or any of that?
Yes, we did. We surely did. As a matter of fact, we have a listing here, and we got a sheet here and a sheet here, and we had people come from places in Oklahoma, Texas, California, Kansas, Louisiana, Kentucky, and Arkansas.
Okay, did you get their addresses or you just got the names and where they were?
I've got the names and the city and state.
You missed an opportunity in not reaching out for like an email address or something like that so that you can be in contact with them, either by, or their mailing address. That's just one way that you can notify people of what you're doing.
Well, we do have a Facebook page, and we, usually always submit stuff pertaining to the guild and the show on the Facebook page.
Okay.
But those 400 people could have been made, we could have made sure that they're all on that email.
Yes.
And then on your Facebook, and then you could have, then that's the thing that you can bounce around everybody, how many people are on your Facebook.
Right, right.
And that would just be, you could just put, we're gonna automatically add you to that.
Okay, we can do that.
So you
next
might
time.
look at that, the form and.
Yes, we can do that.
I'm just looking over your expenses, and I want to try to help you all.
Okay.
What are your show books? Because that was one of your major expenses at $725.
Here's the show book. Would you like to see it?
Yeah, if you don't mind.
Sure. And then these are also little advertising that we put out.
Okay, so the show book, you get sponsors for this?
Yes, we have advertisements, see, there's there, and we had,
Okay.
money coming from the advertisement from that.
Does that offset the cost of this?
Not really. No.
How much do you charge for your ads?
Well, what are we charging, Bill?
It's $25 a half a page and $50 for a whole page.
Okay.
So,
So how many advertisements were in this one?
I don't know how many numbers were in there, but we made $3,145 from the ads.
So that offset your cost at $725?
Yes.
Okay.
We also had booth rentals, and we charged for quilt entries, which was not a whole lot of money.
Didn't you say it was like $5?
That's the admission. is
Admission
$5.
price was $5,
Yes,
okay.
And then I think the quilts are, what, $3? Yeah, $3.
What was your total revenue for this event?
$8,258.55.
$8,200? Wow. Great job.
And that's after, is that after the expenses were paid?
No, that's before the expenses.
Okay,
So needless to say, you made money in this event.
Well, we did, about 3,000 some odd dollars, $3,356 maybe. And here's something I was going to question and ask. Of this $8,258 that I told you about, there is a $1,231 amount that it was made in what we call a country store. And that is things that people have brought from home that they don't want anymore, or they would like to pass on, or what have you. They donate it, and then that's the part of that money is what we receive from that. So if you take that off, that's gonna reduce our,
So you have, let's see here. Is it kind of like a garage sale?
Yeah, that's
style? Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
I was
that's what I
trying
was
to,
gonna
yes,
do.
yes,
Yeah.
that's kind
trying
of what it is, yeah.
to wrap my head around what
Yeah.
that would look like. So that's kind of,
But that money, they do, we do keep that money. People, our quilters, they donate it. And then we have, you know, books and things in our guild that we, own, and sometimes we'll sell those for, and we're talking small amounts of money, so we had a great
so
business,
it's like a silent auction, kind of
sorta.
silent auction, garage sale
Yeah,
slash
right.
bring your stuff and sell it.
Right,
Is
Do
it,
you do that every year?
yes, we do.
Okay. Because that's more than half, I mean, that's a third of what you all made,
Right,
right?
right. That's right. Now, we also had, did I tell you booth rental? Those, people that, are vendors that come in, which is included in that figure I gave you. And that was like $1,055, or $1,050. And, that's kind of about it.
so is this an above average year for what you made for this event?
No, we've made more than this in past years.
Okay. Is your largest revenue driver the store?
No, not really. I wouldn't necessarily say so. You know, if we have a lot of people come through, then, we have, people that go through the booths, and, that's, something that maybe we could make a little bit more money off of, is through our booths, you know, for the, people purchasing stuff and us charging for that.
You're saying booth, like your booth rental?
Booth rental.
Okay. If somebody has a booth rental, is there, and somebody purchases something there, is that just between the renter and the individual?
customer,
There's
yes.
no,
No,
like, percentage that's given back to you?
no, there's not now.
Okay. Did it, I mean, you say not now, had it been in
Well,
the
there
past,
hasn't
or?
been. It hasn't ever been. That something has been mentioned, but we just have not done it. And with the situation like it is, we didn't want to run people off, you know. We
Sure.
were having trouble getting people to come as vendors to begin with,
Mhm.
because they, you know, just didn't want to come.
Barbara has something to say here, so I'm gonna let her speak for a minute.
Well, good, this is Sue took this part of it over. Katie helped her with some, but one of the things I wanted to say, these ladies with this event, first of all, it's an event that brings a different market in than any other event we have. Quilting is huge right now, and there are other things peripherally that go along with it. So it brings a different market in to shop our downtown, and, you know. But one of the things that this does not show, because we've been helping them out with this and with what they do, they are the most frugal and resourceful group of people I've ever seen. They're, the hall is filled with pipe and drapes. They made them themselves, and the husbands made all the pipes. And so those in-kind dollars are not showing up here, of what they do to make this happen and what they bring in. It's a pretty interesting, event for us to have, and it's recognized all over. And when you were talking about the, emails and things, this is something we battle with a lot of the organizations that we work with, that they need to start gathering information and gathering data. But they also promote this a lot through quilt shops and sewing shops and things in Tulsa, Oklahoma City, Fayetteville, and other areas around. So I just wanted to kind of clarify some of it, that there's a lot that they do, and a lot of in-kind dollars that aren't showing up on the paperwork.
That's something on your final submission. We'd like to see, the tickets sold, where your revenue was brought in from, and a breakdown and things like that.
Okay,
Okay?
we can do that next
Just a little bit more detailed.
We can do that.
Now I'm gonna ask Sue a question. Sue, on your art show, and an artist sells a piece of art, do you receive a percentage of that art piece?
Yes, we do, 20%.
20%. That might be something for you all to start looking at as a source of income for you, and that's kind of the norm.
Well, that's kind of something that I had thought about as well, and we discussed it, but it was kind of after the fact, you know. And so that's, and then another thing that we could probably maybe look at a little bit is we do sell food, but because of COVID and everything, our guild members didn't want to really get involved with that. So we were, I guess, fortunate enough to get a vendor, Danny's here in town, that, you know who I'm talking about. And she came and supplied sandwiches and, drinks and desserts and things like that. So we didn't charge her anything either.
Okay.
So,
Well, it'd be beneficial for you guys for that report that we're wanting, with a summation, and put all the states where the people are from,
okay,
and maybe some things that, I would just do it as a recommendation, is things that you plan to do next year that may be different, maybe the addresses,
yeah,
maybe networking with these other the quilt folks in Tulsa and other places. So you guys can do, it'd be nice if you had a quilting, website, and then you could click on Tulsa, or you could click on Pryor, or you could click on, then, you guys can have different links, try to make this
yeah.
to grow your stuff.
We do have a web page for Pryor Quilt Guild. And then we have, some parts that's just for members only that other people can't see.
Right.
But that sort of thing for advertising and what's going on in our Quilt Guild, and suggesting that maybe we can get some more members, then that's on that Facebook page, or web page, I guess it would be, and sometimes on the Facebook page as well. So,
Okay. Does anybody else have any questions for her?
How many days did the event last?
let's see, 2 days.
2 days?
For people coming in, but it takes 4 or
Sure.
5 days to get it set up and taken
Sure.
down.
And of those, did some of them come and go and come to town and
Yes.
patron the
Yes,
businesses
yes,
and
they
whatnot?
did, Yes.
Okay. Well, I've got to say, with all of us up here saying some of the suggestions, I'm proud that you were able to put this event on post-COVID and had such a good draw and made some good dollars. So, you guys should be proud of the work that you guys are doing in the
It was not
community
easy.
and drawing those
We had
individuals
people
in.
that really, was into it and spent their time, and I'm sure a lot of them spent money too,
Right, right.
Sure, we surely did. And in the past too, now it's been, I don't think we did the last 2 years, so we just have this every 2 years. We would occasionally get the news stations, the TV stations and all, to allow us a little slot to promote it, and then we had some with the radio that we did.
Right.
But, there again, COVID just kind of took care of that situation. People didn't want to do it, our members didn't, and a lot of our members are older members, and so it's understandable.
Okay.
All right.
If we don't have any more questions, then do I have a motion to recommend the approval of the final expense report in the amount of $3,000 from the Pryor Patchers Quilt Guild Quilt Show?
I make a motion.
I'll second.
And we've got a first and second. Any further discussion? Those in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Listen to what we've said,
will.
because, I mean, I think you all are doing great work, but I think you all can make it better.
Yes, I think we can.
For you to make more money.
Yes.
We would like to see you make
Right.
more money.
I think so too. But, you know, you have a group, and you got to get people in agreement. You know how that is.
Well, but the other thing is that, you know, you need to try to find ways for you to be self-sufficient too,
Right. That's exactly right.
you know, so maybe your members need to listen to what you're saying.
Right, right. Okay, so then you're saying that the next, we'll have this in 2 more years, that we need to get, when people come in, get their name, their mailing address, and also an email. Is that what you've said, or just the email
Well, you
and
need-
their name?
You need to decide how you want to communicate with them. Do you want to communicate them with a mailing, which can be expensive, or do you want to communicate with them by email?
I think the email would be cheaper for us.
Okay, so then I would suggest you going the email route,
Yeah.
you know. So, and it's just a way, any organization to build their base has to have some type of a database in order to really do that. Word of mouth sometimes isn't enough.
Yeah. And then too, we do have other guilds that will list in their newsletter, like we do for
Right.
them as well, of events that are happening, and of course, Pryor Patchers is in that listing. You know, so
Right.
that's a way that people that are other quilters, they find out as well too.
But I think right on the email is something for the next show.
Right,
But I think you also need to look at raising the cost to the admittance to the show,
yeah,
because I think you're really missing out there on an opportunity to make more money too.
yeah.
I mean, even if it's $8, I mean.
That was the amount I was thinking.
$8?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, doesn't have to
Or,
be a
or a
huge.
10, or a 10.
Well, I mean,
So
10 would be,
Yeah.
yeah.
8, you gotta
but-
have the ones, and you gotta have all that, you know, so.
We try to keep it at the same rate that the other quilt shows around the area, like Claremore has one,
What do they charge?
they charge $5.
Even Tulsa.
But how big are their quilt
Yeah,
shows?
Even Tulsa, quilt show charges $5.
So
But
do you
you
go
have
to
to-
all
I'm
their,
sorry.
I'm sorry, do you go to all their quilt shows?
Oh, yeah.
So you guys hobnob with all the people and,
All of them, we support all of them.
and you guys are on their webpage, and they have an advertisement on their webpage for y'all, and you guys for them? So maybe if you find out when their calendar is, when their stuff is, put it on yours to show when you have other events, and maybe you guys can all, yeah? Okay. You're getting there.
All right,
Okay.
thank you very much.
Thank you, guys.
Okay, moving on to item number 4, discuss possibly recommend to council action to approve the final Spencer report for the Pryor Area Arts and Humanities Council Northeast Oklahoma Area Art Show, October 8th through the 16th, 2021, in the amount of $2,000. Sue, do you have anything to recap, or?
No, other than COVID limited us a little bit. We had stringent rules for the artists to check their work in so that we didn't have a lot of people in one space. I think it impacted the people that came to enjoy the art as well. But we had a good show and felt it was successful. We didn't spend quite as much money as we have in the past. We did not have a reception on Sunday for the artists to attend, primarily because of COVID and having that many people in Graham Hall. Our newspaper advertising, in the past, we had advertised in Claremore and Tahlequah. We contacted the art department at Northeastern and contacted the schools, art teachers in the schools in Pryor and Salina and Choteau to get the word out. We did not have as many juniors and students participate this year as we have in the past, but we're working on that too, so.
How many people visited the show? Do you know?
Well, I should have looked, and I
That's
didn't
okay.
look, Tracy, but, I mean, I would say 400. Number of school classes in Pryor came. Becky Boston's art class that she's worked so hard with came on the bus, and those kids were so excited to get to ride the bus and go someplace. But and she actually had a structured class while the children were there. They had things to look for and note, and these are second graders, so that they could talk about it.
Cool.
Come back, yeah.
Okay. Anybody else have any questions or?
Well, so it looks like the expenses were $5,875,
Correct.
and you made $2,526. That's a registration.
And the donations that were made for the family awards that we give. We had the Friends of Ferguson, Jackie Ferguson was a new award this year in her honor.
So,
I did not include in the receipts, talking about the 20% commission, the artists do sell some art. I did not include that in the receipts and probably should have. Because people buy.
That's money that's made directly by you, or
Say
that
again?
20%, that's money that goes straight back to you guys.
Yes.
So
It's-
yes, that number should be included in your receipts.
because this shows you lost $3,300
Yes.
minus the 2,000, so you had a minus, right?
Yes. But that happens every year. And in order to get the participation from the artists, if we increase the registration fees, then we don't get the artist participation.
Well, you either increase, so it's two ways. Either you increase the artist fees, and if you do that, then you can increase your prize money, or you keep it the same, and you can't give away more money than is possible. I know that you want to have, you have to have people to donate their art, and you have to have prizes. I understand that. But that can't exceed what you spend and what you're receiving and what we're giving. You can't do this and be in the negative on your side.
The art walk that we have in June each year
Mhm.
is a fundraiser to raise money to support this Northeast Oklahoma area artist show.
But this can't be something that costs you. You're already doing your time. You're doing everything else and setting it up.
Yes.
Okay, all of that labor that you guys, and you're doing it a labor of love. You've got to try to make it to where, in the end of the day, you're at least in a wash, where you break even instead of having to do something, and then you're doing that just so you can put on something else.
Well, we are doing it for the benefit of the artists, to give them a venue and a place to exhibit their art and compete with other artists. We do not charge admission during the week that the show is open to the public. We look at it as education, as service, as we don't, the Northeast Oklahoma Area Artist Show, we do not look at as a money maker. Now, we do things that make money. The comic convention makes money for us every year. But this particular show, and we've had it the last, it's my understanding, 33, 34 years, it's something that artists in the area look forward to. They want to participate in. We see families bring their children who are also artists that grow up with the show. It's perpetuating the arts. It's not really intended for us to make money.
I've been involved from back in the heyday, 30 years ago, when really aged myself. I was young then. But that was back then. That was the concept, was it was a service and a benefit to benefit the citizens of Mays County in educating them in the arts. And that was part of the philosophy behind having the art show. And I will agree with you, it was never really the intention to be a money maker. It was to bring people and expose them to the arts.
And that's why we do have a fundraiser each year, and the artists that have participated in this, as well as other artists in the Northeast Oklahoma area, donate their art, and then it is, it's not really, I guess it's sold. You buy tickets and to attend the art walk, and they draw your ticket and you select the art you want based on the price you pay. So it's the fundraiser that helps support this.
So you probably, I'm thinking, and Scott, tell me if I'm wrong on this, you probably, when you apply for an application,
Okay.
to show that you use funds from the art walk to support, you said, to support the art show, or to help put on the art show.
I didn't put a dollar amount in the application. I did state that money raised at the art walk is a resource available for this event.
Okay. We don't have a copy of that old
Oh, that's okay.
report
I just-
here. We just
yeah,
have your expenses for
Right.
this one.
I did not put a dollar amount.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Is that all?
Any more questions?
So, I mean, just in future, is this an event that's held every single year?
We try to, yes.
Okay.
We missed year before last because of COVID.
Okay. So part of that, adding the money that you raise from any sale of art would be nice on here as well. Knowing that you do use funding sources from other things, I'm in agreement. You know, you really can't give away more than what you're pulling in, and so, you know, maybe looking at some of the categories, and if you did add some of those, this is how much we earned throughout the year in other areas, as well as more data on how many people you're bringing in to the community so that they patron other businesses and other things similar to other events that's brought in. So it doesn't look as though we're giving an extra $2,000 to just support this event that's in a negative, you know, so that there's more data on our end to justify all of this.
Okay.
So the quilt people that just left, the quilt folks that just left, we gave them $3,000. They took home $7,000. Okay, that was a good investment for us because we gave them $3,000 and they went and multiplied that for $7,000. We're giving you $2,000 and you're in the hole unless you do another fundraiser to help you to break even.
Well, I don't,
They are
Does-
breaking even.
But they-
with the fundraiser, I mean, I can't give you dollar for dollar, but with your help, we are not going in the hole.
Okay, so we had this discussion, we've had this discussion before, and I'm just asking, okay? That when you do this next year, look at what this costs, look at this as for your total expenses. That'll be your guide, okay? Do your projections, do what you're gonna do. At that point, then you can say your funding, and you can look at in the bottom line and say, this is my nominal, this is where I'm coming up $1,000 short. And I had 400 people, okay? That's $2.50 a piece. People are gonna come to a show for $2.50. There's nobody, if you let me know, who comes to the door and won't pay $3 for entry fee, let me know. Because My sister-in-law will pay the $3 for all
Not
of
this
those
one.
people, of all the people. And what that does is that adds a revenue. And that gives you the ability to support. And by the way, you can put on there that's supporting the prize, the prizes. It's supporting whatever you want to do. You don't say we're trying to grab money. This is, you're giving to us so we can give back to you. Does that make sense?
Because the appearance is that we're funding this and we're just throwing money at something that's at a negative.
I understand that, and I don't intend to be argumentative, but the school students that attend this, I mean, we can't ask those.
I would say.
And those high school students.
I would say 18, I would put adults, $2 adults, $3 adults, whatever you want to do. I'm just saying, I understand 30 years of heritage and 30 years of thinking. I'm just asking you to think of 1 year, and that's next year. And think, how can we do this? And because you're going to come for $2,000, you're going to come for $1,000, and we may or may not be here. But the question is, what are you going to end in the end? And you're going to say, I'm going to get nothing out of it. We're not going to make any money. We're going to have all the satisfaction, everything that we're doing, and passing this on to kids. I understand all that. But just think on our side and being stewards. We gave $2,000, and so you own nothing. But we don't have anything on our side like $7,000 for the quilts folks to be able to say, to hang their hat on. Does that make sense? Am I making sense?
Well, the people.
Kind of.
The
Not too
people who come to the artists who come and check in their work, if they come on Friday, I would bet 9 of the 10 stay in town for dinner. They don't spend the night, no, but they get food, they go to a restaurant, they do whatever. The people that are there on Saturday, they come early, they're gonna go get breakfast, they're gonna have lunch. They're spending money in Pryor. They are, while they're here, they're not just dropping things off and leaving. You've got families. I mean, I gave you the zip codes. Now,
Yeah, I appreciate
they
that.
are all from Oklahoma. We did have these two, the 8-5 and the 9-5. There were 2 different couples that were just in Pryor visiting that stopped in. And of course, they wanted to know, do you do this every year? Do you do this often? Do you have other sales? So, you know,
Good.
they will likely come back. So it's not, I guess back to the intent, it's never been the Art Council's intent for this to be a revenue generator, a fundraiser for us.
But everything that the Art Council does points to this event. Is that?
Not, well, in some respects.
So all of the volunteerism and all of the projects that you have throughout the year, all of the money raised goes for your prize money, goes for your attending and putting on this
It goes into the bank account, yes, as.
for
as our
this event
operate-
or just the operation?
Events
Multi-
throughout the year.
Okay.
Right,
Okay.
so that we can, I mean, it's a 100% volunteer organization, nobody gets paid.
Mhm.
They volunteer, and I think I included in here 340 hours of
Right.
work to put this on.
They do, and I know you haven't because of COVID and things like that, but they typically have a summer arts program for the kids. They
And we do
typically
try.
have art lessons and art classes above City Hall. That's their area, the Arts and Humanities Council, is it not?
Yes.
And do you all do Missoula anymore?
We are doing Missoula this year. We
Yes.
haven't the last 2 years because of COVID, but
And they do Missoula, so.
Johnny Appleseed, and the people pay to participate in all of those. And there's a group of artists that meet on Monday morning upstairs that pay a room rent fee to come and paint.
Yeah.
So we're not giving everything away, but this particularly is to make people aware of the arts in the area. And believe me, I mean, I've been in this area full-time since 2016. And I was amazed at the artistic talent in Northeast Oklahoma. It's amazing what people can do and what they bring.
I would just say add
We want
the.
a place for them to exhibit it so that others can enjoy it.
I would just say that, make sure that you add, the receipts to make the number a little bit more favorable to you, so that next time when you come in, we're able to justify everything that we're able to do, and the money that we give you. And we're just being good stewards, that's
Okay.
all we're doing.
Okay, I will show that what we raise at the Art Walk is noted.
Well, it'd just be nice to know what, all those things that you do. I don't know that a lot of people know everything that you all do
Right,
for the community prior to this event.
right.
So if those are all those events that you're having, you want them, you're not necessarily, you're not asking for money for all those, you're just saying, this is what we're doing in our community, and this 2,000 or whatever helps us support what all we do. There's an end game to this.
Okay, I guess I didn't understand the purpose of the grant. I thought it was specifically for the Northeast Oklahoma Area Artist Show. So, and that's what we will use the funds we receive, if we receive them, specifically for this Northeast Oklahoma Area Artist Show.
Okay.
Okay, any further discussion? Do I have a motion to approve the $2,000 for the final expense report for the Pryor Area Arts and Humanities Northeast Oklahoma Area Artist Show?
I'll make a motion.
And is there a second?
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay,
Thank you very much.
thanks, Sue. Okay, number 5, discuss possibly recommend to council action to approve the final expense report for the Pryor Area Chamber of Commerce 2021's Christmas Parade of Lights on December 2nd, 2021, in the amount of $2,425. Barbara? Are there any questions?
Did you charge anything for any of the entries for the floats?
We send kids out with a hat up and down.
Right.
We charge minimum.
For the advertising for the businesses, that's what I'm talking about, not for the patrons that come, which was well attended this year, I might add, and it was a very nice show.
It was good weather.
It was great weather, 2 years in a row.
What?
For the show, or for the parade, 2 years in a row.
But what was your question?
I totally agree. Totally different parades. The one last year was sweet, you know, in 20, because we went ahead and did it, and it was a struggle, do we or not, you know, because it was in the middle of everything, and decided that we didn't do the stage and the announcing and things that we normally do. But always before the parade, I'll start at the beginning and just walk, have my own little parade, and gives me a chance to gauge the audience. And so I walked it, and it was kind of amazing because all of these people were out there, but they were on their own, acknowledging space and leaving space between the families and things. And it was a smaller parade because a lot of our bigger entries are big business, and they could not, their business would not let them come together to build floats. So it was very, the floats were really simple and really sweet. It was kind of this year people wanted to come out. I think since I've been doing this, and it's been over 20 years now, it was the largest one we've ever had. The most attendance, and the floats were really pretty complicated. You know, almost any float we had in this parade, I would have been proud to have it go over to Tulsa. So it was like I said, they were very, very different. but two of my favorites.
Are we charging, or did you charge any of the businesses to enter into the parade? Okay.
Yeah, but
What was the revenue on that?
$30 is the biggest entry for a commercial float. Most of them are $10.
Okay.
And then we let the little marchers free, and, things like that.
Okay.
It basically, we charge just because also that's a commitment, you have to sign up.
Right.
Because there's a lot of work that goes into it, lining it up and things, we have 3-4 dozen volunteers down there to get it to come out as organized and everything as it does. So yeah, we charge, but like I said, we don't make anything off of it, but it's just a commitment for them.
Right.
We started paying for the bands because there's a very narrow window for a Christmas parade. You only have a few nights for all of the towns to have their parade. And so I can't remember which was the first one, but one of the towns started paying. But it also makes sense, because when they bring the band, they bring them on buses, and they have to pay bus drivers, and they have gas and stuff. So we started paying, and I'm glad we do, I think it's a good thing. It's a labor of love, but it also, if you drive up and down 69 afterward, it's hard to get into a restaurant.
Well, I appreciate it for those of us who find it difficult to come to watch the parade in person, to be able to watch it, stream it. So I appreciate that feature that you all are doing.
And they've got that down. In 20, there was some major technical difficulty, but they got that fixed, and this year it was a pretty good stream.
I was not aware that it was being streamed. Wow. On YouTube or on the Facebook page or?
It's on YouTube.
YouTube.
It's on Brooke.
Jeremy,
Chef.
It's on
and
Brooke
Meredith
Roche's
Nice, okay.
YouTube.
Very good.
And it's really good. I mean, it's almost like you were there. I mean, you don't have somebody with a corn dog next to you. Not that they eat corn dog. I guess it's a hot dog, isn't it? And you can't go see Santa Claus in person, but yeah, it was nice to be able to watch it So, okay. So do we have any more questions for Barbara?
Nope.
Okay, if not, I'd like to see if there's a motion to recommend to council the final expense report for the Pryor Area Chamber of Commerce 2021 Christmas Parade of Lights in the amount of $2,425.
I make a motion to approve.
Is there a second?
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, before we schedule the next meeting, can I ask you a question? What about the additional member to make us 5 people?
Barbara and I were talking about that today. She's going to try to help us find somebody.
Okay,
If anybody knows of anybody, let me know, because we can get the information to Mayor.
okay, do they have to live within the city limits now, or not?
I'll
Do they
look
have
and
to
see. I
live
don't
within
remember.
the city proper?
I would say yes if I were really alone.
I'll have to look at the ordinance. I don't remember.
If you extend the city's money, they probably should, but that's.
I don't disagree.
Live or own property within the city limits?
I don't know. I was just curious, it's been a while.
Yeah.
And so I was just wondering where we
Yeah, we've got
stood.
several boards that need filled spots, so I know Mayor's working on
Okay.
all
We're
of that.
probably low on the totem pole.
Well, I don't know.
Is there anything else? If not, it's 6:15 and, oh, do I have a motion to adjourn? Sorry, I
Do
can't.
we need to schedule a new
Do we
meeting?
wanna
or-
schedule-
Oh,
I don't know
we don't have anything
right
to
now.
schedule, do we?
I don't know of anything right now.
Okay, you'll just
I'm
let us.
good on that date.
I second that.
Yeah, since you outed your sister-in-law, I mean.
Hey,
Yeah. Throw me under the
Hey,
bus, will you?
Yeah, really.
She's got the big bucks.
Glad you're not
Yeah.
my relative.
She's is my
I
marriage.
hear that a lot.
Trust me, it's my marriage.
Okay.
I make a motion to adjourn.
Okay, is there a second?
Heck, no, I want to be here all night. Second.
Okay, we're adjourned at 6:16.